Okay, I really need blinds come 2023. That's the first plan 2023. We're getting blinds so that we can actually not I don't appear in heaven all of a sudden. That's the first thing we need to do. Hey, what's up guys? It's X. We're back today with another video. Currently as I'm recording this, it's Christmas Eve, the 24th of December. Eventually we will get to I'll post this up on Christmas Day. That's kind of just what I'm gonna do. That'll be the Christmas video, and this is gonna be just an update video. I'm just gonna talk about kind of just like the full year and kind of like how things have been going. Right? It's been pretty much a whole year since I fully like sat down and like hit play on OBS and like started hard doing recording for content. Right? So this is technically over a year since I truly started YouTube. I know the channel's been around since September 2020, and like I've done like little one-off videos here and there, but this is like then the first year where I've consistently just streamed and went crazy. Right? That's streamed, made videos, did news, etc., etc. That's pretty much it. Right? That's the whole point. Right? So I kind of want to just reflect on that and then go to, reflect on that, reflect on the year, both regular and personal. And then we go into what our plans are for 2023, right? That just seems like the obvious solution right there. So, just kind of looking about how we started the year. We started off with the podcast, TGD Live Talks, with me and Zenny. And we were, it was going pretty well. I think, that was going well. We also started our podcast progression series, which was really just a placeholder title because we didn't think of a name in time. It was like, well, find something to do. Uh, and, those are fun. The podcasts are fun. I'll say that. I more or less kind of got a little bit more salty as like time went on with the actual podcast with the progression series, but that's because of two things. One, uh, this man was outplaying me. I'm just gonna admit that. And two, I was also really learning how to actually edit with the software. I did, which was just an open source software. So that's I'm just trying to like I was just more frustrated with that than anything. So I feel like those weren't like indicative of what eventually everything turned into. But that's here or there. You know, thing is why it stopped was simply put, Zenny's free time or free time, quote unquote, just kind of like started to fade away as time went on. The situation was basically if he had free time, he'd rather be working on his own like craft and stream and do all his own stuff instead. So I was like, okay, then we'll just stop, and whenever that comes, whenever that period of time where you get back comes back or adjust, we'll try and come back. As you can see, with the whole past year, that has not occurred. And if you were to go to his Twitter, you kind of realize, oh, he also just stopped. There's a lot of like things I can't really say in the behind the scenes, but I'm just saying. I'll just say right this: if you're worried about Zenny, he's fine. He's doing some things. Really, what he wanted to do was just kind of start again. He wanted to start anew, start fresh, and I can't blame him for that. So that's kind of what happened. There's none really anything negative, no bad blood between us. He's still that goofball. He's still that idiot that I'm friends with. So that's perfectly fine. So that's kind of the whole point of progression series, and why TG Live Talks both stopped around. I think it was like February, March, yeah, around that time. So that's kind of it right there. Uh, as for like the Master Duel content, I'm just gonna be completely honest. I just kind of stopped playing Master Duel. Like I log in from time to time, but at a certain point, I just stopped doing events. Right. The last like true Master Duel thing I did was the dolls video. It was the Box of Friends video. I think that was like the last Master Duel thing related thing I did. And like after that, I just stopped. I just couldn't play Master Duel anymore. It just didn't really like keep me. I know they're doing a lot of events. I still log in from time to time, play like a couple, like two games, and just like dip out. But that's pretty much it. So that's what happened to the Master Duel content too. Uh, maybe that'll come back up sooner or later. It depends on what comes up, but like, man, considering what's on its way, oof, mm, I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen sometime in the first half of the year. I'm just saying that right now. Yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Hell no. So yeah, that's kind of it. And then we got into more new stuff. All the talks about it, all the the information about card games and whatnot. That was fun to do. I like doing those videos. Those are really nice and just straight up, you know, taught me a lot more about how to make content or make videos on YouTube. Just straight up, right? I still I say this better. Like, you are improving when you look back at your old stuff, but like, wow, this is ass. Like, and every time I look at the video, I'm like, the video I made 2 weeks ago, right? The Eva video, I'm still like, man, I wish I could have done better on this Eva video. Like, it's just more so just practice, right? That's the whole point of getting better at something, is that you just have to practice, right? And so this whole year is basically just a practice session, right? Well, all year is gonna be practice sessions, but this year specifically is gonna be practice session. And speaking of which, gosh, it's hot as hell. It's hot in here because it's like -2 degrees over here in Texas. So we're just kind of going through it. So but that's why I have the jacket on. Plus, I think it looks cool. Plus, I need to go outside and do something anyway. So after this, so that's yeah, yeah. I just do stuff. Yeah, I got stuff to do after this, so that's why I'm doing it. Um, so let's actually move on to the actual plans for the channel. That's kind of what y'all here for, right? So we got three. We got three like actual things to kind of like deal with, and so we're gonna start with the channel, the main channel itself, right? Yes, I have a second channel, Zach Swing. Go follow that. So firstly, we're gonna keep going with TGG news, right? We're gonna keep going and make more news on that, right? That's not gonna change. Nothing about like any breaking news or anything's gonna change, right? You're gonna see all that right there. Secondly, I want to start a series, right? I want to actually make a consistent series, right? One where it's like, at the very least, it's just me, and I do it every week. I get better at it. I get better at it, and we improve and whatnot. And that is to borrow from the 10-minute testing series, which, if you know what that is, it's a series done by the YouTuber MBT Yu-Gi-Oh. Makes sense. Where he kind of just has like a little where he goes through more in depth on a deck and kind of like talks about it, right? That's the whole point of it, right? He talks about it, shows combos, gameplay, etc., right? That's the whole point, right? It's like just a giant version. It's it's in depth enough. It's in depth enough. It's in depth enough to where you can get details on how the deck plays, but also just not as in depth as like a full on super guide, right? Like, that's kind of the whole point, right? It's not a super guide. It's just like an in depth thing about it, right? So I want to kind of like use that formula and adapt it to Vanguard, because there's a lot of decks that we use, right? This is a game that's existed for 10 plus years, right? There's gotta be some decks we can do and do some shenanigans, right? We got 3 formats, 4 if you want to count G format, or 5 if you want to count Stream Fight, right? So there's a lot of like actual decks that could like see some play, right? Because like that's how 10-minute testing goes, right? If a deck gets new support, gets a new wave, it's brand new, or it's like a new form of the deck, right? So say Naturia's, like he did one on Naturia's earlier. You can make a list and play it and show how the deck runs, in all that, right? That's kind of the point. So I want to do that. I want to adapt it to Vanguard, right? That's pretty much the whole thing. So that's also another thing I want. Vanguard is 2 things. One, I want to at the very least get back into doing collabs, right? Not collab sets, but rather like collabs with other content creators, right? because I think that'd just be really cool thing to do, right? There's a lot of like dope content creators in the community that who just have so many like great ideas, and if I can help them or they can help me, you know, teach their own. And at the end of the day, we all get stronger, right? That's just kind of my thoughts process on that. So that's what I want to do is start by doing collabs. These glasses are just annoying me. And then the last thing is more so kind of just to have a secondary game to focus on instead of just Vanguard. Like I know like the whole thing like 2023, 2022, excuse me, wasn't exactly like the best year for Vanguard for everything outside of like actually playing the game, right? Like if you played the game, I think you were having fun. I think the issue is just, all the other stuff around it. But even with that, I do want to like focus on another game, and I think that game for me could just be, I talked about it a lot. It's a lot of news, and I want to actually give Battle Spirits Saga an actual try, right? Because I'm not really into Digimon. There's all of that. I'm not really into any other games really. Yu-Gi-Oh is cool, but there's so many people who are just have more time, energy, and money really to actually do all that. So that's another thing. Well, Miles Saga, I can start fresh and redo, right? And I'll be doing that until either Saga fails, which again, I never want to go to a game saying, "Oh, this game's gonna fail," or until Build Divide actually comes to the West. Whichever one comes first. Whichever one comes first. Whichever one comes first. So that's kind of like my game goals for the main channel. As for Zexwing, the second channel, I'm going to at some point within January or February, I'm going to finish that Dead or Alive, King of Fighters collab video. Right? If you don't know what that was a video I was starting to work on, which was going to be like what would be my dream team for Dead or Alive / King of Fighters. What three characters would I probably add on a team? How would they probably play and whatnot? Right, I had like just a normal thing. Right, I'm a huge DOA fan. I like King of Fighters. I feel like they've already clapped before, so it's like it should make no. It should be like a no brainer. Like yeah, you can add these characters in there. Uh, that I was hoping to get that before season 2 info dropped and like the realization. Oh no, they'll probably do like one of characters, which oh boy. Well, that kind of like kills the thing. So, yeah. uh, outside of that, pretty much, yeah. I think one of the other things is like trying to do more like general content over there, right? If anything, I want to say this: like, I want to get the podcast back up in some way, right? Either it's about TCGs, if it's just about general stuff. It was just a mix of the both, of mix of the two, right? Like halves trading card game content, the other half just general stuff. I'm interested in because I'm interested in a lot of things, right? I'm more than just a Vanguard player, a Yu-Gi-Oh player, et cetera, et cetera. Like I like a lot of things, right? You can see on my Twitter, it's like I like a lot of things, right? I like fighting games. I like some anime. I like just a lot of things. Like I'm into a lot of things, and they all hurt me. But I want to talk about that hurt. And I think just making the second channel more akin to that, which is probably a good thing. Or you can actually start focusing on, getting some more second channel stuff content for that, right? So that's the goal for that. And obviously like that will then become where stream archives go, right? So if I stream, that'll be where that starts sending where I start sending stuff. I'm gonna put my glasses on. Losing my mind. Which also transitions perfectly into streaming. I want to get back to consistently streaming. And by back to, I mean starting consistently streaming. Like I tried to do it a little bit in sometimes summer, but just couldn't do it. And, I think that's mostly just because I have some anxiety about streaming. Sometimes I'm like, man, I have this anxiety about, streaming and just showing up and doing stuff live, right? I'm more of a calculated person. That sounds very, very douchey. I'm sorry, but more so like I like having a plan for what I want to do, right? And having a plan for what I do instead of just showing up and just doing stuff is like not just me, and that's why like sometimes I just flake out on streams, right? When I say I announce a stream only to not do it, it's like, yeah, I'm crying wolf, and it's really like negatively impacting anything I do. That's just the long and short of it. So I want to get back to consistently streaming. I want to like have plans for what I want to do and do that, right? I think that should be perfectly fine. And plus, we can always do some crazy stuff. Uh, whatever comes to mind will also help, right? And for kind of the last little bit, I want to go to majors again, right? I took 2022 off because of a lot of life things, which, again, if you saw on Twitter, just like literally like 3 days ago, I'm telling you, like that life stuff is not stopping anytime soon. Right? It's just going to get worse. Honestly, it's going to get worse before it gets better, and that's just how I'm going to deal with it. That being said, like the whole goal now is to just go back to tournaments, right? I want to play some card games in person with people again, right? So that's kind of just the goal, go to Spring Fest. We'll probably talk about the Spring Fest BC and BRO stuff later, but that's kind of the whole thing, right? I want to get to Spring Fest BRO. I want to make it my goal, which was the whole point, which was 2023. I want to have a Worlds invite to uh, Vanguard Worlds. I want that so badly. I will fight for it. So I'm planning to do at very least the back half of the year, go to BCSs and play my ass off and try and like actually get a top invite. I really want that, and that's just gonna be my goal. That's just gonna be primarily my goal for this year, is to make it to Worlds with a complete full invite. If I don't, right? That's just how it's gonna be. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Like, I've kind of like talked my piece. Uh, Again, we're not exact at the time I'm recording this. We're not exactly at the 100 subscribe goal, but hey, we. Ooh, excuse me. I'm not exactly at the 100 subscriber goal yet. I want to do, but hey, you know what? We'll get there. I'm still very confident that if I just still push out like two more videos, I think we hit it, right? Push out two more videos before the end of the year, we hit the 100 subscriber goal. So again, next video after this should be the most anticipated TCG, trading card games of 2023. That'd be funny if that comes out on the day before the end of the year. Totally, that'd be perfectly cool. Not like my procrastination has made other things like straight up like lose momentum. Nope. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for at least hearing me out. Uh, I appreciate y'all for just tuning in, watching my videos. I'm incredibly humbled with the year and everything it's been through. It's been amazing, and I appreciate every single one of you who's commented, liked videos, all watched them, all that, right? Thank you again. Thank you so much, and let's go ham in 2023, right? Again, the whole goal is to get this channel to 1,000. If we can get either one of these channels to 1,000, that's the goal, right? That's the main goal with Promise, right? Hit 1,000 subscribers in 2023 on either channel. If we hit 1,000 on both, shoot, I say that's an absolute win. So anyway, thank y'all. I'm not gonna do the actual intro. Just thank y'all. Have a Merry Christmas. I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.